Silver-tongued Devil here. I wanted to put together a little boss rush just to give you guys something to watch as far as all three bosses. So let's go. Okay, let's have a quick think. Let's try and hit that massive platform with a teleport arrow. There we go. So we're just literally going to be rooftop hopping all the way to the end. I will put some timestamps in this one for anybody who wants to just jump to whichever boss you want to have a look at. We will be doing the bosses vanilla arrows, regular arrows, no specials. I'm not going to bother picking them up. See how we go. I've also put a timer in the bottom left hand corner. I'm as curious as you guys may or may not be. I would like to see how long it takes me to do this. I've always assumed it's about 12-15 minutes, something along those lines. I find myself doing this quite a bit when I'm out there in the levels looking for content and material. First little mistake here as far as speed running this, I suppose, is going left from the top, or even going down here. There's nothing down there. Should have gone right at the top. You can drop down the right and go straight to those windows that you see on my left now, and straight down into the portal. But let's have a quick look at Anakim. Should be reasonably fast. And no, he's got quite a large health pool. I mean, we're only at cycle 1, but what you want to be doing is shooting for centre of mass, bringing your aim up to try and get those headshots. Those headshots will stagger him, which will make further headshots a little bit more difficult. But as you can see, I'm just standing here, pumping him full of arrows, trying to get shots off on what becomes a threat, and then straight on to Paradise Lost. A bit more verticality in this level, which can make it a little bit more difficult, but stick to these like side battlements. Try and get to the edges of what you're teleporting from to make your teleport arrow a little easier. Jumping back and forward and left and right to make your way up things is always a good idea. Whilst you're waiting for those longer teleport arrows as well, just moving your head off to one side and the rest of your body off to one side or the other is a good idea, just to avoid any incoming fire of anything that you've left in your wake. Take these guys out, wasting my time and yours. Straight up onto the top here. Arrow across to the reliquary. Not going in there. There is life here. You unlock that when you've taken so much life off of Gabriel for the first time. Worth remembering, just in case you do lose any life. Now, what I'm going for here, at this point I would usually have Tempest arrows, or hope to have Tempest arrows, so I would go to the top here. Wait for him to drop in. He's dropped in at probably the worst place, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back and then just backpedal using the locomotion whilst firing. Good job you can't hear the audio here. I am cursing like a good and not hitting him. We're waiting for a sound cue basically whilst rattling full of arrows. As soon as you hear that sound cue, gotta move. Get behind a pillar. Try and angle it between you and his last position. There's 4 fireballs coming in. Wait for all 4 to impact. Then you're free to start opening up on him again. Staying close to that pillar. Because this one's a little bit of a longer play, we are going to have to deal with some of the minions because we don't want to get swarmed by cupids. That can be a pain. You'll notice that although the sword animation, the flame is going through me, it's not registering a hit. Reason being is because I'm not in line of sight of Gabriel or his sword. So we're going to keep popping out, putting those hits in, finish him off. And there we go. Quick note, you have to wait a few seconds, although that's actually the island spawned in. It isn't actually there, so the teleport arrow goes straight through. And the Abyss, probably the easiest one to rooftop hop. the vast majority of the roofs that you'll be looking for are going to be below you. A little tip as well for when you are teleport arrowing: when you pull the teleport arrow, if you aim at a surface that you can teleport to, you'll actually get some vibrational feedback from one or sometimes both controllers. If you are aiming at a surface and you get that feedback, you know that you can teleport to that surface. Just something I find a lot of people, or some people, don't know about, or have questioned what it is. So I thought that was worth putting out there. So we're just going to literally skip across, keeping as high as we can. The level tends to go on like a downward slant as you're heading towards Asmo, so keeping high and then slowly losing that height, getting right to the edge of these peaks and then finding your next one is usually the best shout. There's a little tower here, you can jump onto the battlements of it, and you can use your teleport arrows just to go around it and then straight down onto there. We all know this section takes way too long, but hey, what are you going to do? We all remember that first time as well. Going through this next bit, it was awesome. Now it's just long. As you'll note as well, we're doing pretty well on the time side of things. Asmodeus definitely eats up a lot of time. Just because of his multiple stagedness, a little bit different to bosses that you'll have faced up until this point. It isn't just a damage output race, especially in Cycle 1. So, on to Asmo. Quick note, don't worry about the lava in this level, in these parts where you're skipping between the platforms. You can't go into the lava, so if you miss your shot you don't have to panic. For me, again with vanilla arrows, we've got to pop them blisters, shoot them skulls. You'll notice I don't use the slow time on this. You get pretty au fait with it once you get going, but then you also get a little overconfident from time to time and get hit like that. You'll also notice what I'm doing is I'm just firing the arrows and moving the bow as opposed to aiming. Those skulls come in fast enough that you just kind of have to register what order they're coming in and then keep firing and adjust the bow accordingly. Because we're not using special arrows, we're having to get right in the faces of these guys to get them dealt with as quick as possible for the next set spawn. Cupids and archers will be the priorities here. So run through these guys. Headshots where you can, but it's only Cycle 1. They're not going to take too much to take down. That Incubus did disappear off for a little while. I'm not going to go chasing him because I'm getting ready for the next platform. So he's going to raise the lava level now. We are going to be going for Asmo's dorsal flanges in just a minute. But first off, we have to put down his Hadoken or Kamehameha skull attempts before he's exposing his back. They only take a couple of shots. Once they do, you'll see the big glowy bit, take that out. Then we're going to have to dodge a couple of rocks. I'd recommend using the shard for this. Don't hold on to the shard for too long because it does disappear. And what you'll see is I move in the same direction as the rock is coming from. So if it's coming from my right, I dodge right past it. Second dorsal flange eliminated. Just got to wait for these platforms to come up. skip across these platforms, take these guys out as quick as you can. Cupid first, get some hits into those guys. The Flaming Monks, as soon as they take a hit, they'll try and teleport away, which is why you want to be getting close and trying to go for headshots. Again, prioritising archers, shouldn't have taken a hit there, but what are you going to do? Now, we are going to again prioritise the archers and just brute force our way through most of these guys. You'll also note that I'm going to take out the archers, but not all of the abominations. Reason being is if you leave a few of those abominations, and gesture them over, it does nothing, but you know, might help. Leave a few of those abominations alive, and what you'll find is the Cupids haven't spawned. Didn't have to retreat there. Could have just carried on hitting the horns, but wanted to do it with losing his least amount of life as possible. And there you go, 10:41. Not a bad time. If I was really going for it, I'm sure I could shave a couple of minutes off of that. And that's house mode done. On to cycle 2. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.